Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today I got a story for you, titled, I, a 40-year-old male, found that my wife, a 38-year-old female, used to do things in bed that she refused to do with me. And now I'm considering divorce. Has anybody been in a similar situation? And a shout to Gary for sending in this story. Guys, like the title said, this is about a guy. He's been married for a while now, 12 years I believe, 3 kids. And up until recent events, he thought he had a good marriage, good wife, all that. And you're going to see that is completely not the case. She had a whole different life that she never told him about, lied to his face when she was younger, and now it's coming back to haunt her, and he's, in my opinion, more than considering divorce. And this story is a perfect example, guys, of how when women are young, and many nowadays especially, like to walk on the wild side with the bad boys and Chad and Tyrone and Wang and Chang, they eventually are going to look for that stable guy, the secure guy they can build a future with, because they know he'll propose to her, he'll be a good father, a good provider, a good husband, and won't cheat. And some may stay with him forever and actually be all right, but he doesn't get the stuff that she used to give the other guys, or they'll be with that guy and cheat on him. We've heard it all. In this situation here, she engaged in a whole lot of stuff on multiple fronts that she was denying him, and also lied through her teeth about her situation. And he, in my opinion, has every right to end it with her. But you'll see more as I get into the story. So it starts off, says here, hi all. In advance, please forgive me for any grammatical issues. English is my second language. The names are changed, obviously. Sorry for an essay in advance. Well, for some background here, I'm 40 years old and my wife Kate is 38. We've been married for 12 years now and together for 16. Also, we have 3 children, a 12-year-old boy, a 9-year-old girl, and a 7-year-old girl. My wife and I met in college. When I first saw her, I was smitten. Right there. Already. She has one look at her, boom. She's got power. We kept noticing each other, and we passed each other in the corridors, but she's the one that made the first move. She asked me out, and the rest is history. So obviously, at some point in the beginning of the relationship, the topic of previous sex life and boyfriends and girlfriends came up. I told her I had 2 girlfriends and that I had been intimate only with them. Okay. And I believe him. Wait to see her answer. She told me that she had 3 boyfriends in the past and she'd also been intimate with them only. Okay, let's remember this. She had 3 boyfriends. That's all she's claiming to have. Well, as our relationship progressed, I broached a topic of trying new stuff in bed. She declined, telling me that she just isn't into those things, and she isn't that type of girl. Okay, let's see about that. I asked her if she tried it before, and she said no, and that was that. Okay, let's fast forward to the future and see if she's lying about all this stuff. Since then to now, I tried approaching the topic about 4 times throughout the years, so it's not like I kept bothering her about it all the time. Again, she wasn't the type of person, and I loved her very much, and was willing to make that compromise. I'm really wanting to know what these things are. I'm going to guess probably BJ's is one of them. If your girl ain't giving you BJ's, walk the hell out. Now, obviously, if you're a big giant slob and you don't freaking take showers and stuff like that, and it's a big hairy fucking mess and you smell like shit, okay, I can understand that. But if you're a decent shaped guy and your girl ain't doing that, then get out of there. So now for the issue itself. About 2 weeks ago, me and the wife went to her best friend Amber's birthday party. My wife was organizing the whole thing, and so she was constantly running around and checking in with guests and Amber. One of the guests was Julia, another friend that she used to be my wife's best friend back in the day, but because she moved to another city, they kind of drifted apart, but did remain in contact. Julia moved to another city before me, and my wife started dating, so I only saw her about 3 to 4 times during our relationship. So I spent the majority of the evening catching up with her. And the drinks are flowing, and you know what that means. After a couple shots, seeing my wife running around Amber, checking in if everything's okay, I made a lighthearted joke and asked Julia if she isn't jealous about my wife and Amber. She chuckled and jokingly replied that they might drifted apart, but Amber and my wife will never be as close as they were because as far as she knew, my wife and Amber never hooked up. He's like, say that again? It took me a couple seconds to realize what she did say, and it was like I sobered up instantly. I asked her if she and my wife did hook up in the past. Here we go. Some of you are like, well, she technically said she only was with 3 guys. My face must have been in shock or something because when I asked her, she stuttered and immediately backtracked saying she's just fooling around. Bullshit. Don't stop there. I laughed and decided to believe her, but after that, her mood changed 180 degrees, and she was very uncomfortable for the rest of the evening. Her behavior was even more suspicious than the quote-unquote joke itself. She got caught in a lie. She just didn't know you didn't know certain things. Well, after the party ended in the taxi, I was numb, and many thoughts were running around my mind. My wife was weirdly clingy even for herself when she's tipsy. When we went back home, she must have noticed I was kind of distant and lost in my thoughts, and she asked me many times if everything is okay and how I'm feeling. I just brushed it off for being tired after the party and went to sleep. See, women are not dumb. They are much more in tune to how people, their feelings, what's going on with the guy, his body language, his behavior, his tone of voice. It's very hard to fool women, especially if they know you. Well, I didn't sleep that night. I was constantly thinking about what Julia said to me. This combined with her and my wife's behavior, it just rubbed me the wrong way. Trust your gut. Well, the next day, my wife's concern for me and my well-being not only continued, but it intensified. 2 days after the party, Julia called me, and mind you, we never called or even texted each other before. She was just my wife's friend. At first, she was saying how nice it was for us to catch up, and after the years, and she hoped from now on that we'd be more in contact. Meanwhile, he's never talked to this chick ever, and now she's reaching out to him? Okay. However, after that, she started asking how I'm doing and how are things. She was asking questions word for word the same exact way as my wife was for the past 2 days. See? They're in cahoots with each other. The wife's trying to get this guy to talk? Nope. Now the friend's in on it. The call, in addition to my wife's behavior, threw me off so bad that the next day I decided to look through my wife's phone. We have access to each other's phones. Here we go. Drum roll. Get ready for the dirty stuff. At the top of my wife's chat with Julia, I read their conversation from the night of the party to today, and from what I figured out that Julia at some point during the party confessed to my wife what she accidentally told me, and that Julia didn't know that I was aware of their past. The texts were a mix of my wife being angry at Julia and her apologizing. After that, they were talking about how to resolve the issue and discussing my behavior since the party. See, they can plot and scheme and all that, and so many guys have no clue. So, these two have a past, and she lied through her teeth when he asked her about her past and all that. And it isn't just like another notch on the belt. This is with another woman. That takes things to a whole different level here. But we're just getting started. So my wife did in fact sleep with Julia and lied to me about her past. Also, from how they were talking about it, it wasn't a one-time thing. I wasn't mad, angry, or anything like that. I was just confused. Why would she lie to me about such a minor thing? I started wondering what else she might be lying to me about and is not telling me. Well, dude, you have a right to be mad. I think he's just shocked. That's really what it is. Unless Julia's hot and his mind's in the gutter and all that, but it's not like he was benefiting from that. He married a gal who's bi, who's into women. And that's fine, that's her business, but she lied to him. Lied by omission. Well, no, she didn't lie by omission. She said, I had 3 partners, these guys, and all that. And didn't want to do all sorts of stuff. And then I made the biggest mistake of my life. I decided to look through my wife's other chats. Smack! That's not the biggest mistake. Marrying her without doing your homework, that was a big mistake, brother. But what's done is done. And you had a right to look. I think I spent like 5 hours reading my wife's chats with her friends. Friend groups, even those that weren't active for years. 5 hours. He's a little vague here. Did he do this like at 1 o'clock in the morning? He waited for her to go to sleep, got her phone, got her iPad, whatever, and did the digging? Or are they connected somehow? Doesn't mention that. From her friends' group chat, I learned that they discuss their sex life somewhat often and in great detail. My wife, however, is completely lying about our sex life. She's bragging how often we do it, which we don't do it very often, and how we are very adventurous in bed, which we obviously are not. I just don't have any idea why she would lie to her friends about it. So, right there, guys, when women bitch and complain about men and locker room talk, that's a bunch of crap. It is full of shit, because they do the same thing. In fact, I've observed they are usually worse. Well, later on, I found another old group chat with a different set of friends that she was not in contact with anymore. Scrolling through the chat for about 5 minutes, I came across 2 videos sent by one of my wife's friends. She followed it with a text saying, "Look what I found, ring any bells, Kate?" My wife replied with face covering emoji, and 4 of their friends reacted to the video with laughing emojis. Oh, what's on the video? Well, not to be too graphic, but the first video was the said friend having a 3-way with 2 dudes. The second video was my wife in the same setting, doing the same thing with the same guys. There you go. She had a girlfriend, and now she's in 3-ways, on video, and sharing said videos, and she has this on her phone to look at from time to time. Yeah, that's something no husband wants to see. There you go. Divorce. Now, as you can imagine, there's a lot of people there's some people watching this that stumbled upon this video, or people in the comment section that are tearing him a new one, saying she has every right to do what she wants to do. Well, she lied to him through her teeth. He married a gal who is completely different than what he thought he was marrying, and she denied him things. We're not done. I recognized my wife in the second video despite it being bad quality, as it was basically a recording with a mobile from another recording with some type of old camera. To be honest, at first, I thought she cheated on me, but upon second viewing, I noticed some details that indicated that the videos were taken during college, so most likely before we started dating. Flip a coin. However, I was still devastated. Seeing a video of my wife being intimate with not one but 2 guys and doing things with them I repeatedly asked for broke something in me. Okay, well, we can kind of use our imagination here, what was going on here. This is why I say she's not giving him BJs. Because if she's got 2 guys here, let's try to figure out the logistics here. The likelihood is she's being spit roasted. Okay, her mouth is on one thing, her caboose, or something near her caboose, something else. Or maybe she got her hand on one. The point is, yeah. And he's thinking, why not me? She's settled with the stable, secure, nice guy. Meanwhile, she had her fun with the bad boys, Chad, Tyrone, and Julio and Rodrigo, or Wang and Chang. I didn't sleep that night, and the next night as well. Throughout the day after the discovery, I was just numb and responded with yes or no answers, which didn't go unnoticed by my wife. My numbness, here come the sirens, been a while. My numbness to my wife and a step up her checking in on me. Well, the following day, I couldn't take it anymore, and I confronted my wife with everything that I found. Oh, hope the kids are out of the house. I wasn't screaming and throwing a tantrum, I was just upset. When I started speaking with my wife, her face turned pale. Yeah, pale like the color of Tyrone's love juice that was on her face in that video. As I went on, tears started running down her face, and then she started full-on crying. Bring on the waterworks, Hobag Handbook Chapter 2. To be honest, then I got angry. It's about fucking time, bro. You have a right to get angry. I was waiting for answers for her to say something, but she just kept crying. I was the victim here, and she was the one crying. That's how it works, dude. And why would she even cry about this? I don't even know why it still bothers me. Later on, she asked if we could talk about it in the morning, as she was too distraught at the moment. No, bitch, we're going to talk right now. I said whatever and went on a drive despite her asking me to stay. The next day, she asked me to sit down and let her speak uninterrupted. So we all know what's going on here. She had the whole night not to cry in her bedroom. She had the whole night to go back and do some damage control. She probably texted all her friends from back in the day saying, shut the fuck up. Delete all the messages, all the videos, and they all probably schemed and plotted to come up with the best thing to tell him as little as possible to make sure she doesn't get divorced. That's what happened. Guaranteed. When they say, I can't talk now, I'm so upset. No, 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 no. Don't give them time to think. Well, basically, I learned that my wife lied about the number of people she'd been with before me. Duh. That number went into the 20s, men and women included, and that she lied about not being more adventurous with the things in the bedroom. I mean, I figured that one before, as on the video, she was clearly enjoying herself. Okay, she is admitting to men and women, not just one woman, women, so obviously there's more than one girl, in the 20s. Anybody here really think the 20s? I would say, you all know the way, the formula, triple it. So 60s. Basically, I learned that my wife lied. Oh, I read that part. Her reasoning, ? She said that she lied about the number of previous partners because when she met, she really liked me, and I appeared prudish. Oh, thanks. So she thought that if I knew the real number, I wouldn't date her. Well, that's probably very likely. No guy wants to know that his girl was the freaking college bicycle, the dorm room bicycle, the blunt passed around, and doing videos and three-ways and on camera and everything. And worse yet, all these things that she denied this guy, the guy that she married, that she loved. Believe me, guys who loved, I mean, they want three-ways with other dudes there, but they would like BJs and other positions and things like that. Nope, those guys get the bare minimum starfish sex. As far as the stuff that she refused to do with me, she didn't want me to view her as that type of girl, and bringing my supposed prudishness and conservative as a reason. Bullshit. View her as that type of... She had no problem with guys using her like a piece of meat. But this guy, he would love to engage in lots of things. Also, she admitted that she enjoyed those things, but only when the partner was casual and somebody that did not love her or care about her, because those acts were degrading in her eyes. Right there. This is very important. She's actually admitting she enjoyed all that. Okay? So a lot of people that take part in the comment section say she didn't enjoy that stuff. Bullshit. However, she refused to do those things with me because she didn't want me, her husband, the father of her kids, and supposed love of her life to do such degrading things to her. She wanted me to respect her and make love to her. What a load of shit. I've never heard a woman say, in honesty, I want to be made love to. They want to be fucked. This is a bunch of crap. And you guys have your wife saying that, they're full of shit. When I heard this, I started laughing and said that if that's true, it's the dumbest logic I've ever heard. It is dumb. That's why they call it hoe logic. Then I said that this situation is pretty clear to me. She just doesn't find me as attractive as the guys did with her, and that she settled for me. Well, there's a lot of truth to that. She did settle for him. And she may have found him like attractive, like good looking, but she wasn't drawn to him like these other guys. My wife absolutely denied it. Shocker. She said that I'm the love of her life, that I'm the most handsome man for her, and that our lovemaking is the best experience in her life, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, bullshit. Is she acting like she does making love in the bedroom to him as she is screaming her brains out in bed with Chad and Tyrone, spit roasting her in that video? I think not. She said that she'd be more than happy to start implementing those things in the bedroom. Oh, thanks. Now that you're busted. Now that I had that image in my head of you with all those people. And now that you know you're in deep shit. No, too little, too late. Hearing that, I got angry and told her that I'd rather jerk off than a pity fuck from her. After that, I made a nasty comment that was out of line, but I apologized for it right away and went to drive to cool down. Smack! I wouldn't apologize for shit, dude. When I returned, she asked me where my headspace was. I was honest with her and said that I didn't know right now, and I'm rethinking our entire relationship. Well, good for him. Because now she has uncertainty. He's not 100% sure if he's leaving or not. She started crying, and I ended up consoling her. Smack, jackass. Let her cry. Let her wonder. Let her be unsure. It's about fucking time. Look what she's doing to you. Well, since then to now, my wife kept crying and saying that we can work on fixing this. How? It's easy for her to say. If there's anything about his past that's causing her great hurt and heartache and stress and all that, and betrayal. Right now, I'm gathering my thoughts and taking my time to make a decision. I came to the conclusion that my wife simply doesn't find me that attractive. It's not just that, dude. How about all the fucking lying to your face at the beginning of the relationship and the whole time? And there's videos of your wife out there. It's beyond the attractive thing, brother. I mean, I can read the writing on the wall. I don't see any other reason why she would deny me these things that she gave and clearly enjoyed with her previous partners. Moreover, her doing a 180 on those things with me once and all this come to a head only confirms it. So it did wonder to my self-esteem, and as you can imagine, right now I only see 3 solutions from the situation, and to be honest, all of them suck one way or another. I'm going to be using the word suck. Option 1, we continue our relationship as it was, and I get not even 50% of what her old friends and benefits got in the bedroom. Wife is happy, kids are happy, I am not. Okay, option 1 sucks, don't do that. Option 2, we might open our marriage. Smack! That's a stupid fucking idea. She gets to find the guy that she would enjoy doing the things with, and I get to find a girl that finds me attractive enough to enjoy doing those things with me. I know it's risky, but I think as long as we wouldn't bring our partners home, we could manage it. And yes, I know that my wife would have much easier time finding a new partner than me, but it is what it is. At least we get to stay together and the kids are happy. Smack again, that's a terrible idea. I know he's emotional, not thinking straight, I get it. Open relationships are a fucking disaster. Yeah, she's not going to have any problem. You can see she likes to get freaky. I'm guessing she looks good for 38 years old. Him, yeah, I'm sure he can get some girls, but it's going to be a lot harder. And I'm sure he's still going to be seen to women out there as the guy that you don't get freaky with as you would with Chad and Tyrone. That guaranteed. No, terrible idea. Option 3, we divorce and nobody's happy. How about option 4? We divorce, it'll suck for a while, it'll hurt, but eventually I can start over, learn from this, and be happy. And she gets what's coming to her. I just don't know if I can get over this. I can't talk to my family or friends about it because how embarrassed I already am. So if any of you have any similar situations at one end or another, I would greatly appreciate any advice. So I'm going to give my advice, and I'm going to read the comments, because the comment section is pretty split, where you have women tearing him a new one, saying how much of an a-hole he is, and how dare he judge her and slut shame her, and blah, 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 and men speaking common sense. I'll read a few of those in a second. As for his marriage, I'd say kick the bitch to the curb. She deliberately lied to her face when they got together. After doing all that, their marriage is a fraud. She was doing all that. That's not the type of girl he ever would have gotten involved with. And insult to injury, she denied him all that stuff for years. And it's not because she didn't enjoy it. She admitted she did enjoy it, but she wanted to see the guy she was with in a certain type of light. It's not necessarily the looks of him. It's just his vibe and who he is. Okay? And this, no, it's not going to work. Now, some people say, hey, there's 3 kids involved. Yes, and that is unfortunate, but it's better they split up and be on their own and start over and be happy than stay together and be miserable. He stays with her, he's going to be miserable, okay? They're never going to be hooking up again. He's never going to get that image out of his head, of her past. He'll be questioning everything, and I have a hard freaking time believing that if she was like that when she was younger, turned it off like that, and has been any freaky shit on the side, because she enjoys the freaky shit. Clearly. You think she's being satisfied with just the most boring, basic missionary starfish sex? No. I don't believe it for a second. And she has no problem lying to him all these years. Okay? And I would seriously question, I hate to say it, I really do, if all those kids are indeed his. I hope they are. But you never know. And talk to a lawyer, find out all your options, and go from there and control the narrative. And by the way, guys, you know darn well he is going to be skewered. Everybody's going to come after him, and the family and friends saying that just, look at her, she loves you, she's been a good wife, she's been a good mom, she's crying, look at her, da-da-da-da-da, she's offering a solution. You're the big jerk wanting to divorce her. It doesn't matter. He needs to do what he knows is right. But right now, he's all over the place because he's been blindsided here. That's what I think. But in the end, he'll be okay. But it's not going to be easy. But staying together, I'm telling you, it's going to be a disaster. Now, here's some of the comments. And I'm going to tear apart these bitches that are giving him a hard time. First one is from a woman. She says to him, "My dude, get the fuck over yourself. Your wife did not owe you a complete rundown of her prior history. Your wife did not owe you every experimental thing she did in the past that she does or does not want to do now. Your wife did not owe you reassurances for your blatantly obvious insecurities." She did owe him that. because when they got together, they talked about it, and she completely lied to his face. That is wrong. You can't have a marriage without trust, a relationship without trust, and that. And you're getting together. He obviously needs to know, and has a right to know about her history if she's been the town bicycle and on videos and with another woman. Because put the other stuff aside, if she likes women, that could impact her marriage if later on she wants to do with another woman. So that's bullshit. She also says, you SLT shamed your wife of 12 years and the mother of your children because you felt inadequate as a lover. Wow. I hope she chooses option 4. You divorce. After this fog lifts, she realizes that she does not deserve your judgment or shame. She's getting the judgment and the shame because she's lied to him for this entire 16 years that she's known him. 16 years. And the stuff that he wanted to do, she lied saying she doesn't like that stuff. She did like that stuff, but she doesn't want to deal with him. So this asshole's argument is completely ridiculous. Here's another woman giving him shit. She says, you should divorce because your wife deserves someone better. You're acting like a child. Grow up. Well, here we go. First of all, your wife's past is her past, and she has every right to refuse to tell you anything about it if she wishes. While I don't agree with her lying about it, I do get her reasoning. Right there, she contradicts herself. First, she says she has every right to not tell you about her past, and now she's saying, well, I don't agree with it. Make up your fucking mind. No, he asked her about her past, and she lied to him. She also says she may have been experimenting and liked it, but decided it ultimately wasn't for her. She may have enjoyed it, but also felt dirty and didn't like that. She may have regretted doing all those things together. No, we all heard the story. The wife admitted she liked doing all that stuff back in the day. She just didn't want to do it with this guy. So again, that ruins this asshole's argument. Women have more complex feelings about sex than men do. Secondly, you don't get to have whatever you want from her just because she did it with somebody else. Well, I do agree that if someone doesn't want to do something, they shouldn't have to. I do agree there, but it says a lot about them if they're willing to do all those things with other dudes and chicks and admit they like it, but nope, not you. Third, this has nothing to do with attraction, like get a grip. Women and men can do some really dirty stuff with someone they don't find wildly attractive. Men seem to think that the hotter they are, the dirtier the woman wants to be with them, and that's simply not true. Flip a coin. I've seen some freaks that were not that good looking, and they knew they had to be freaks to get any dick. And I've seen some darn good looking girls that, well, yeah. So that's the shit he's getting. The whole comment section is full of chicks like that. And what does this say about them who are giving him a hard time? And one more. This is from my guy, A Voice of Reason. This guy says, yet another post where the man is responsible for the woman's lies. The key issue here is his wife lied to him. Not only did she lie to him early in the relationship, she kept lying to him for over 15 years. And when her lie was discovered, she conspired with her friends to get him to ignore it. This wasn't a white lie or a lie of omission. Opie specifically asked about this, and she admitted to lying to him in order to manipulate him to make a decision that she didn't think he would have made if he had the full picture. Then, when her conspiracy did not work, she turns up the waterworks to become the victim, and y'all are eating it up. Right. Exactly. The bedrock of any relationship is trust. She planted a seed of deception in the foundation of the relationship and created a family with the OP. That there are kids caught in the crossfire now is squarely her fault. Does she owe him a specific intimate act? Absolutely not. She did owe him the truth. Furthermore, a lot of y'all are suggesting that she isn't interested in these acts anymore, but if you read what was written, that's not what she communicated to the OP. See? She admitted she liked that stuff. It sounds like she wouldn't have any issues doing those things in a casual relationship still. And I can't for the life of me wrap my brain around how a woman thinks this is an insult of the highest order to her husband. Bingo! They know it's an insult. They just don't care. You know? This, again, would be like a guy. This would be like let's reverse the situation. A woman found out that her guy, her husband, who's not romantic at all with her, used to be, and she wanted the romance, used to be ultra romantic to multiple women, girlfriends in the past. That would really infuriate her. And there's other examples here. Or he doesn't spend any money on her. Doesn't take her anywhere, doesn't buy her anything like that, even though she's a good wife. But meanwhile, back with previous girlfriends, used to take them on vacations and buy them things and all that. Again, that would really piss her off. This is the best comparison I can make here. And shit, maybe there's other things going on. Who knows? But the point is, he has every right to be pissed off about the lies. The fact that she was doing things with Chad and Tyrone and the other guys on video, a girlfriend, multiple women, lied about the number, all those things, all these years. No, this is just not good. And again, I got a question about those little kids are his. So yes, it's time for a divorce. He stays with her. It's never going to work. Open marriage is a terrible idea. And what was the third option? I forgot. So that's what he needs to do. And it's going to be hard. It will. But many men have been through this. But he needs to control the narrative. And even then, controlling the narrative, he's still going to be labeled the villain. Because she'll be crying and begging and pleading and saying she's willing to work on this. She'll be telling everybody she knows that she offered him these things, that she wanted to go to counseling, that she's been a good wife and good mother. But if he knows in his heart, in his gut, this is a terrible idea, he has to follow through. Whether he does, I don't know. I didn't see any follow-ups to this, but who knows? We shall see. You never know what could pop up down the road with an update. All right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.